And we're gonna do a short 30-minute Radiant Warrior set for you today. So a couple of things before we get started. It might be great to have blocks. Honey, do you have blocks? No. So it might be great to have blocks. I recommend maybe a cushion, a pillow, something to sit on to get comfortable with. It's not always comfortable to sit on the floor. So anything that might be useful for you. For a long time I was putting blocks underneath my knees too to support them when I was sitting on the floor and sitting flat. I want you to just remember throughout this practice today that this is about you. This is about your practice, what feels good in your body. And so anything that I suggest, if it doesn't sound like it would feel good or you try it and you would rather not, you are invited to do anything else that your body wants to do. And you're also welcome to lie down in Shavasana or go into Child's Pose at any moment. So let's get started. We're actually gonna start in a seated position. So take a moment and get comfortable-ish in that. And I recognize that it's not always comfortable. If closing your eyes is available, go ahead and shut your eyes down and just tune into your breathing. If closing your eyes isn't available, you can look down at the floor, you can look at your lap. You start to watch the breath come into the body and go out of the body. And as you watch your breath come in and out, I invite you to do something that we call Ujjayi breathing or yogic breathing, ocean sounds breathing. And that breath is like a swirling in the back of your throat. You can hear it as you exhale. So you go ahead and inhale through your nose and exhale like you're sighing, but with your mouth closed. Sounds like that. We use that Ujjayi breath, keep going, to bring us into our bodies, to bring us into the present moment. It also has a bonus action of soothing your nervous system, aligning you with your parasympathetic nervous system. In my yoga practice, I like to use Ujjayi breath no matter what pose I'm in to just take a moment and come into my body. So I invite you to play with that throughout the practice today. So continuing with your Ujjayi breathing. And allow your chin to dip down towards your chest, lengthening through your cervical spine. Shift your left ear over towards your left shoulder, creating space in the right side of your neck. Sweep your head forward and bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Allow your shoulders to be down and away from your ears. Notice what it feels like to let them release. And just move your head back and forth, exploring the back of your neck. stay with that breath. Inhaling as you bring your ear towards your shoulder, opening the chest. Exhaling as your chin comes down. And bring that chin to center. Wrap your shoulder blades back towards one another and lift your head back up to neutral. Let's take a nice deep breath in and sweep the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bring your right hand behind you and your left hand to your knee, twisting, gentle twisting. Inhaling back up to center. And exhaling to twist on the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Now this time, inhale to center, hold that posture. Let's bring the right hand down to the side, lift up with the left hand, and shift over for a side body stretch. Inhale to center, and exhale that left hand down. Reaching your right fingertips as high as they will go, and then stretching over to the side. Inhale up to center. Let's interlace the fingers behind the head. Send those elbows back. Open up the chest. And just allow yourself to be in this beautiful demonstration of an open-hearted posture. It's actually a slight back bend here too. And bring those arms down, resting them on your knees. We'll start to sweep the body around in circles. Siri Om is what this pose is called often. And we inhale our chest forward, and we exhale to round the spine back. Notice at the beginning of this practice, we're moving the spine in all the directions that it will move. Change direction. Ujjayi breath. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Use your belly button, drawing it back towards your spine on that exhale. Activating your power center. And then nice and slowly start to make those circles smaller and smaller, like you're drawing a spiral with the top of your head. Resting back at center. Take a little body inventory for a moment. It doesn't take much to change your body at the cellular level, to move the places that haven't moved, to shift your perspective inward, to be more embodied in the moment. And let's make our way onto all fours, tabletop position. So in tabletop, we want to make sure that the knees are directly underneath the hips. And you can even test that by putting 2 fists in between your knees. When you get into all fours, your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your elbows. There's that beautiful line. You don't have your hands forward or back. So notice that alignment. Ground down in all 10 fingertips. Take a deep breath in and come into cow pose, letting your belly dip down toward the floor, your chin lift, your shoulders roll back. Deep breath in. On your exhale, round your spine, sending the center of your back up toward the ceiling, and tuck your chin to your chest. That's your exhale. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Ujjayi breath, ocean sounds as you inhale and exhale. Come back to neutral. Bring your knees out about max distance apart. Sink your hips back, bringing your tailbone toward the floor. Stretch your fingertips forward and find child's pose, allowing your forehead to rest. And if it doesn't reach the floor, maybe putting a block underneath your head. You can put your hands underneath your forehead, but connect to the earth in that way. It's so grounding to have something connected here. In this posture, we are reminded that it is the mind that surrenders itself. It bows itself to the heart. And as you breathe in this posture, stretching through the hips, the low back, your sacrum, your psoas, remind yourself of your Ujjayi breath, and that it is the mind that is the servant to the heart. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Go ahead and walk your hands back, coming up out of your child's pose into tabletop position, that hands and knees where we were before. Tuck your toes and lift up to your first downward facing dog of this practice. Now in our first down dog, sure, we want to reach our hips nice and high, but we want to pedal out the heels, stretching the hamstrings, stretching all of that back body. Let your neck release and your head fall, and send that tailbone up, up, up toward the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. Walking it out, noticing where you feel this pose. And then bring your gaze to your thumbs and tiptoe your feet forward to fold in Uttanasana, forward folding pose. And in Uttanasana, we let our knees bend. We still send that tailbone up nice and high, and let your shoulders spill forward so that you can feel that decompression in your spine, so that you can feel that you're creating space in between each vertebra. Deep breath in, maybe sway side to side a little bit. Don't worry about what the pose looks like. Think about what it feels like. Deep breaths. Good. Bring your feet underneath your hips, so walk them in just a little bit. Bend your knees and roll your body up, nice and slow, vertebra by vertebra, stacking each bone, one on top of the other, allowing the shoulder blades to wrap back, your chin to be level. Inhale to float your fingers up toward the ceiling, and exhale to bring your hands to heart center. Samasthitihi is the name of this pose. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Just take a moment and set an intention for this practice. Take a deep breath, sweeping the arms up overhead. Stretch all the way up, get so tall, and bring your right hand down to your side, stretching the left hand up higher, and slowly leaning over to your right side body. Good. Just a little side body stretch. Then inhale back up to center and do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, lifting, exhaling to lower down in your side body. Keeping your chest open and maybe even looking up. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, bow forward, planting your hands down on the floor. Take a step back into plank pose. Bring your knees down, your chest down, and your chin down. Notice how those elbows stay nice and close the whole time. Once you lower, zip your legs together, point your toes, and find a baby cobra, lifting your chest and head off of the mat, but not using your hands. Deep breaths. On your next exhale, bring the forehead back down to the floor. Plant those hands underneath your shoulder blades. Tuck your toes, lift up and back to downward facing dog. Good. Walking the feet out a little bit. Look at the thumbs, tiptoe the feet forward, and fold. This is a slow sun salutation. You do not have to move through sun salutes fast. Inhale, rise all the way up, sweeping the arms, allowing them to come up over the body. Palms touch. Exhale, bow forward, bringing your hands all the way back down onto the floor. Step back to plank pose. Nice deep breath in here, and then exhale, knees, chest, and chin down to the floor. Inhale, peel the chest off of the mat, find a little baby cobra back bend, and exhale, forehead comes back down. Inhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, and lift up and back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in and out. Drawing that navel up to the spine with every exhale. Looking at the thumbs, tiptoeing the feet forward and folding. Inhale, rise up. Sweep those arms up overhead. Exhale, bow forward, plant your hands down, step back to plank pose. You're at the top of a push-up in plank pose. Can you feel strong and sturdy here? Knees down, lower chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra. Zip those legs together, point your toes. Maybe press up into a higher cobra if your back feels warm. Exhale, lower. Tuck those toes. Lift up and back. Walk it out. Bend your knees. Move through the ankles. Deep breaths in and out. All right. Now what I want you to do is look at your left thumb. Look at your left thumb. Lift up your left foot and step it towards your left thumb. It might not be graceful. You might have to pick it up and put it there. Lower the right knee down. Good. And whenever you're ready, rise up. You can put your hands on your left thigh. You can put them on your hips, or you can float them all the way up to the ceiling for Anjaneyasana, the pose of devotion. And listen to the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. Deep breath in and out. Exhale, bring those hands down next to your left foot. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and step back into plank pose. Now we'll move through that vinyasa Knees, chest, chin come down. Inhale up into the back bend of your choice. Exhale back down. Inhale into downward facing dog. Good. Deep breaths in and out, drawing the navel up, sending the tailbone up, up, up. This time, we'll look at our right thumb because where the gaze goes, the energy flows, and step the right foot forward. Lowering the left knee and noticing where you would like to be in this hip opening pose. Anjaneyasana. Hands can stay on the thigh, on the hips, or all the way up in the fullest expression. Deep breath in and out. And exhale. Hands come back down next to your foot. Tuck that back toe, lift that back knee, and step back into plank pose. Deep breath in. Knees down, lie down. Find that back bend. Forehead to the floor. Tuck the toes. Lift up and back for downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Let's look at the thumbs again and tiptoe the feet forward to fold in Uttanasana. Letting everything go, sway side to side a little bit. And then this time, go ahead and put your hands on your shins, your knees, or your thighs and straighten that back. Find a flat back, straight leg position. And notice that in this pose, we're stretching hamstrings. When we fold forward and release, we are stretching and releasing that low back. And nice and slow, rise all the way up to stand. So from here, loves, this is where we're going to do our balancing pose of this short practice. So it's always good to play with balance and to just notice where we are and how we're able to find balance in our bodies. So let's start with hands on our hips because that can be a nice neutralizing stance. Shift your weight over into your left foot and bring the bottom of your right foot to the inside of your left ankle. Now this is tree pose. This is a beautiful pose. You don't have to do anything beyond this. I recommend looking up, finding a drishti, a focal point to stare at, and keep your gaze locked there. A lot of times I say look to where the ceiling meets the wall. So not like tipping your head up or lifting your gaze. Maybe your foot will come to the inside of your calf muscle. Maybe your foot will come to the inside of your thigh, not on the inside of your knee. When you find stability and grounded roots going all the way down here, then you grow those branches all the way up. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We're gonna hold this pose for the rest of this song. No, I'm just kidding, we're not gonna do that. And these are the bad yogi jokes that I make periodically when I'm teaching. So go ahead and bring your hands back down through heart center onto your hips because we come out of the pose the way that we got into the pose. Slide that leg down if it's lifted and step back onto that right foot. You might want to shake out that left leg too because it might feel a little whoa. Okay. So once you have done it to one side of the body, in Vinyasa Yoga, we want to hold that balance concept through everything. And part of that balance is, can you balance what's going on in the left side of your body with what's going on the right side of your body? So now we'll shift all the way over onto the right foot. Same things. Where's your drishti? Where are your hands for now? Bottom of your left foot to the inside of that right ankle. Draw up, lift up, look up, and maybe slide that leg up as well. Deep breath in and deep breath out. When you feel grounded and rooted, you can grow branches. Stay connected to the breath. Visualize the tree roots going down and the branches going up. And exhale the hands through heart center, back onto the hips. Slide the leg down and shake out that other standing leg. Good. Beautiful. So make your way back to the top of your mat. Take a nice deep breath in here, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, bow forward, planting your hands down. Step back so that you can return to the hands and knees position. So whatever you need to do to gently move yourself back into that. Finding your tabletop pose, separate the knees, bring the big toes to touch, and sink back into child's. And just notice for a moment. Again, we're going to just take some inventory. How does this child's pose feel in comparison to the one that you did 20-ish minutes ago? Has anything shifted in your body? Where can you surrender a little bit more? Can you visualize the space being created in between each vertebra? And walk your hands back, finding your sits bones planted on the center of your mat. Notice that you want there to be space behind you and space in front of you on the mat. So when we lie all the way down, which we're going to do in a moment, you won't be lying on the hard floor. Plant your feet and keep your knees up, sitting up nice and tall. Tuck your fingertips behind those knees and stretch your arms out. So this is just an adapted boat pose, drawing your navel into the spine. Maybe you start to play with floating your feet, maybe not. What we are going to concentrate on, however, is rolling down onto the mat, vertebra by vertebra, keeping that spine and belly button connected as much as possible until you're all the way down on the floor. Take a deep breath in and stretch your fingertips all the way up over your head. Get as long in your body as you can. And plant your hands down next to your sides. Bring your knees into your chest. Give them a hug. You can start with just that Uttanasana. And then maybe bringing your knees together, allow them to fall over to your right side for a spinal twist, for a supine twist. And then bring those knees back up to center and go to the other side. Back up to center. Find a happy baby, bringing your fingertips towards your toes, nice open hip position. Keep your shoulders down onto the floor. And then settle into Shavasana. Allowing the breath to come in and out. Recognizing how even a short practice, a few times a week, and have such a major impact on our energy, on our thoughts, on our overall well-being. Yoga is about quieting, centering, and going within so that you can know the magic that lies there. And as we wrap up this short practice today, I encourage you to stay here in Shavasana. Stay as long as you are able to stay. Stay in gratitude for showing up for yourself. Stay in gratitude for the strength of your body. And stay in gratitude for everything that this day has to offer you. I honor the place inside you that is the same inside of me. Thank you so much for joining me for Radiant Warrior Yoga.